Hello friends, this is Parth Sarthivirda and welcome to Quality Excellence Hub YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss on how to fill 8D format. In previous video we have already discussed about 8D problem solving methodology, and today we are going to discuss on how to fill 8D format. So friends, if you are the first time viewer or if you have still not subscribed to my channel, then do subscribe. You can click on the bell icon so that you will receive notifications of all my future video uploads. You can share the link of my channel and videos to your groups and friends so that they will also get advantage to join our family and enhance their knowledge. Now let us start with the topic. Let us quickly go through the 8 disciplines which includes D0, that is prepare and plan, D1 team formation, D2 is problem description, D3 is development of interim corrective action, D4 is determination of root cause, D5 is permanent corrective action, D6 is implementation and validation of permanent corrective action, D7 is prevention of recurrence of that problem, and D8 is team and individual recognition. Now let us start with D0, that is prepare and plan for 8D. Here you need to collect the information related to symptoms, acknowledge the complaint if received by the customer, and ask for further information if you require to trace back it to the process level. Identify the need of emergency response required to protect customer from the further consequences. And almost all OEMs, they mostly have their own problem solving formats. So it is quite possible that D0 information will be already filled in that format, and that format might be supplied to you, and you have to fill that particular format. Here I have tried to figure out the format, which is a generic format, and it may vary depending on the organization. On the left header you can put a company logo, on the right format details, and in the middle you can give the name, whatever the terminology is in your organization. Then you will have some complaint details which may include notification number, notification date, plant or location, material number, material description, drawing and revision number, PO number, quantity supplied and quantity affected. This information you can include more information also depending on the requirement of customer as well as your organization. Here OEMs have their own problem solving methodology formats, as I already told you. Supplier have to fill details in their format. OEMs may have different format layout, but concept remains same. So there may be different formats in different OEMs or other organizations, but the concept of 8D remains same. All the disciplines will be covered in that particular format. 8D format may include detailed information of total journey or record the results, and detailed information are in respective tools. So it is quite possible that 8D format may be in a detailed form where it will cover all the records. And it is quite possible that it will just record the results, and there may be some attachment of respective tools which will cover a detailed information. So now let us start with D1, that is team formation. Here you have to form a team which includes team sponsor, team leader and team members. Team members should include all the related disciplines or all the related departments like production, quality, maintenance, manufacturing, engineering, design, etc. And let me tell you friends, success of project depends on the team personnel selected, how they are involved, how actively they are involved, what knowledge they are having, right? So it is very important to select a personnel and for the success of project. And a team leader shall have thorough understanding of problem solving methodology and which tools to use and when to use. Team sponsor is responsible to provide related resources, approval, and should be actively involved. And subject matter experts shall be included as and when required. If you feel that subject matter expertise, you will need subject matter expertise, then you can add SME in your team or as and when required. And after that you can set the rules, guidelines, instructions to follow for the team members throughout the project. Then D2 is problem description. Friends, for problem description or writing the problem description, I have already posted a video on 5W and 1H. I'll give a I button link here. You can click on that link and you can see that video if you want to refer. So problem description is mainly derived by the method 5W and 1H or 5W and 2H. And what does it includes? What, when, where, whom, why, how and how many. So if you want to go through the video and detail how this is problem is described, you can check my video. I'll give a link in description box also. So here you have to write everything, and finally the problem description will be ready and you can write a problem description here. So here you can, as I told you, you can use 5W and 1H or 2H method or any suitable method for describing the problem, and it will help you in better understanding of problem and area of focus where you need to focus. It develops common interpretation and understanding of team personnel, and it also identifies data collection areas where you need to collect more data, and it also identifies the boundaries by asking what is and what is not. So you can you will know what are the boundaries and what is in the scope. And D3, the third discipline, short-term corrective action or interim corrective action. It is to be identified and executed to protect customer from further consequences. Verification of effectiveness of interim corrective action is must. It should be applicable to all related products in pipeline. Whatever the products are in pipeline which have yet not received by the customer, all the products in pipeline, this actions will be applicable to all the products. And interim corrective action is a temporary solution and not permanent one. It should not be understood as permanent solution or permanent action. It is to be discontinued once permanent corrective action or actions is implemented and validated. So it is a type of first aid or bandage which we are applying, right? So these are not a permanent solution or permanent actions. Then D4, that is determination and verification of root cause. So here root cause you have to find for three different things. One is for defect. What is the root cause for defect? Why was the defect produced or generated? Root cause for non-detection means why was the defect not detected? Once if it is generated, second stage is detection. It should be detected. So why was the defect not detected? And the third is systemic root cause. What does it mean? Why did quality preparation planning fail to predict the defect? So why we were failed to find out the risk which is involved in this. So this is a systemic root cause. One of that is PFMEA. Why if we have missed this in PFMEA, then we should include this. So we have to find root cause for three things: for defect, for non-detection and for system. So this 5Y you can use for probable causes. If you want to find probable causes, then you can use fishbone diagram where you can list out probable causes for all three: for defect separate, non-detection separate, and for system separate. And after defining probable causes through fishbone, then you should filter down most likely causes, and that can be done by YY analysis, scatter chart, or fault tree analysis, etc. So you can use these tools and you can filter down the most likely causes, and all three root causes shall be verified. Once you find the root cause for defect, for non-detection and for system, then all three or more root causes shall be verified. It is quite possible that there may be more than one root cause for any problem. Then D5 is permanent corrective action. We need whatever root causes we have defined in D4, for all three, for defect, non-detection and root cause. For all those root causes, we need to identify permanent corrective action. If we apply that action, then that problem or defect will not reoccur, or that non-detection will not take place, or the system will not allow that problem to occur. So we need to decide and verify permanent corrective action by brainstorming and generating ideas. Once you filter down the root cause, then you have to decide permanent corrective action, and then you have to verify that permanent corrective action. And here you can see, you can fill all the details in this type of particular format. Then D6. In this stage, you have to implement the permanent corrective action, and then you need to validate the permanent corrective action. So here this is the format where you can describe the action, who is responsible, start date, end date and status, and you need to verify also whether it is effective or not. So what is the activity to verify that the corrective actions have been effective? What activity you will do? You can set some parameters to be measured, you can carry out audit, you can do study, or you can assess that particular action or process after implementation. Then prevention of recurrence. So the format remains the same: description, responsible, planned date and realized date. And here permanent corrective actions to be implemented to similar products and or processes. Whatever actions you have taken, that might be in one particular model or on particular product which you have found, but there might be similar products or similar production lines on which the similar kind of problem might be there. So you need to implement this permanent corrective actions to the similar products or the processes. And updating changes to quality management system if applicable. So if you find that after this action we need to update some of the documentation, then it is to be done. Suppose if there is a need of updating PFMEA or control plan or some formats or some procedures or some work instruction, some manufacturing process sheets or manufacturing process plan, suppose QAP, whatever the document it may be, if it is suggesting to update any of this document, then it should be updated. And then verification of implementation of changes. Whatever you have implemented, all the changes, permanent corrective actions and the changes should be verified. Now finally 8D, that is D8, and D8 is team and individual recognition and closing of 8D report. Here you need to know what you have achieved. So what was the baseline, what was the target, and what you have achieved, that should be documented here. Then whatever you have achieved, you should recognize the team effort. The persons who were involved in that team, you should recognize them. Then you should recognize the individual efforts also. If anybody has put some more effort and if they have achieved something, then you should recognize them, and you should celebrate the achievement. Whatever you have achieved, you should celebrate them, so that people will be motivated and they will be eager to participate in the new projects. And we should document lessons learned, whatever we have learned, whatever experience we had, and whatever we have learned through the project, that should be documented as a lessons learned. And then compiling project documentation, evidences, records, etc., and then declaring formal closure of 8D project with sign off. Here finally you can have signature of team leader, team sponsorer, and whatever is demanding in that particular organization. Suppose if some finance data is there, you can include the signature of finance people also. Depending on the organization requirement, you can add the signatures. So here I have tried to compile generic 8D format, and then depending on the organization it may vary a bit, but overall the concept will remain same. So friends, I hope you liked the video. If you have any comments or if you have any query, you can mention it in the comment box. And friends, if you have still not subscribed to my channel, then do subscribe. You can click the bell icon and on all notifications, so that you will receive notifications of all my future video uploads. You can like and share the link of my channel and videos to your groups and friends, so that they will also get advantage to join our family and enhance their knowledge. Thank you.